Hello. Good morning, everyone. Um, good morning, everyone. Happy Indigenous People Day. I now call this meeting to order at 9 a.m. and we will start with our land acknowledgement. Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University, Northridge. Honors their elders, past and present, and the descendants who are citizens of the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here and we are committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. Now moving on to roll call.
Vice President Jimeniano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Abrams,
Here.
Senator Arias Gomez,
Here.
Senator Atias,
Here.
Senator Basilio, Senator Cabrera Figueroa, Senator Contreras,
Here.
Senator Cunan. Oh.
Here.
Thanks. Senator Dominguez,
Here.
Senator Garcia,
Here.
Senator Gavina,
Here.
Senator Kachadia,
Here.
Senator Kadka,
Here.
Senator Mane.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Quiroga,
Here.
Senator Ramirez,
Here.
Senator Umana,
Here.
and Senator Vicente.
Here.
We have quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move over to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Senator Dominguez?
I move to approve the agenda for October 13th, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Quiroga, is there any discussion? Okay, if there is no discussion and no objections, we will approve the agenda unanimously. Okay, awesome. Thank you. We will now move over to the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion? Senator Romano?
I move to approve the minutes for October 6, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Vicente, is there any discussion? Okay, if there are no objections, we will approve the minutes for October 6, 2025 unanimously. Okay, amazing. Thank you. We will now move over to our special presentation, our first one being the new commencement gown proposal for 2026. Oh, actually, then we'll move into academic advisement by Cindy Greco.
Good morning. Oh. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate being invited here today to provide some updates as far as where we're at with academic advisement and the restructure that was begun in 2023. My name is Cindy Greco. I am the Senior Director of University Advising Interim. I've been in this role since 2023, so I was here last fall to also provide some updates. So just since then, we've made a lot of exciting progress toward the structure we've been working toward. So I wanted to go ahead and share those with you, as well as answer any questions you might have about where we're at with all of that. So just a quick recap, back in 2023, it was determined to hire managers in each of the college student service center EOP satellites. So one of the first things I worked on was developing and hiring the position of the Director of College Advisement. I'm happy to say that for a brief moment in time this past year, we had the full staff of 7 directors of college advisement, as well as our advising director in the hub. We did have one retirement, and so I am now looking to hire a new director for the Andrew J. Agnost College of Engineering and Computer Science. So we do have 6 of the 7 new MPPs in place as of this semester. Each of these positions report centrally to me, so the purpose, again, is to just provide some consistency in how information is flowed out to the colleges and to all of the advising units, as well as some accountability for the onboarding and training of our academic advisors, as well as evaluation of student satisfaction in the colleges and the hub. All of this is done in support of a consistent college structure. So we have a manager and then several different levels of classification of advisor in the colleges to serve all of the students. When I first started in this role, it was determined that we would also be moving toward a caseload model of advisement. And so what that really allows for is that each student will be assigned a specific advisor based on their major primarily. So it allows consistency not only in the services that are provided, but also gives students and advisors an opportunity to get to know one another, for the advisor to really fully understand the students' academic, personal, and professional goals, help them, reach out to services and referrals as needed in order to maximize their time at CSUN while also staying on track for graduation. So we're really excited about moving toward this model because it will allow for more meaningful connection between students and advisement. But in order to do this well, we needed to staff up. And so we determined we needed to hire 24 new academic advisors. So there has been 24 positions that have been filled that are brand new. We are also continuing to backfill any vacancies. And also over the past year, as many of you are aware, we redeployed 14 of the 18 advisors from the Matador Advising Hub to the colleges as well. All of that is, again, in support of the caseload model so that we could bring down the student-to-advisor ratios to a more manageable average 350 to 1. In the Hub, we continue to serve our exploratory students. So Hub 2.0 is really focused on serving our exploratory students well. So that's our incoming first-time freshmen as well as our continuing exploratory students. So those are students who need to declare their majors by the time they reach 60 units. Part of really moving toward a more enhanced service for these students has also been the development of what we call the Matador Academic Pathways, or MAP. This is a series of discovery workshops where our exploratory students come in not only to meet one-on-one with their advisors, but also to do some additional major exploration, career exploration, so that they can make sure that they really are going to declare a major that's the right fit for them and for their goals. So it's a very intentional way of serving these students and something we're very proud of in the Matador Advising Hub. There's also been the creation of exploratory specific University 100 classes. So freshman seminars that are devoted toward our exploratory students and toward their progress on their academic journey toward declaring a major. In the Matador Advising Hub, we also continue to advise the international student population for our incoming F1 visa students. So our first-time freshman international students are served in the Hub for their entire first year, and our transfer international student population for their first semester before they have a warm handoff to the colleges. So that's kind of in a nutshell where we are at. We have pretty much made it to the point where we are ready to go, for caseload advisement in all of the colleges. We are phasing that in over this year with full implementation by fall 26. So we have a couple of colleges that are already working under this new model, and a couple others that are about halfway there. So by fall 26, all colleges will have the assigned advisor in place. Again, this is really to make sure that students have that point person that they can count on to help them make informed choices about their degree pathways and beyond, help them register for the correct classes so that they're staying on track for their academic goals, understanding their academic policies and degree requirements, and help connecting to resources and referrals as students may need additional support. Again, all of this is in support of our students to help them persist and graduate. In university advising, one of the most asked questions I get is, who's my advisor? So we all really hope that this move toward a caseload model will help answer that question for students, because they will be introduced to their advisor upon admission. If they don't change majors or change out of their colleges, they will stay with the same person until they graduate. But until then, we are working on updating websites so that it will make it a little bit easier for students to identify who their advisor is. One way that they can do that is by visiting the University Advising website, which is located there, as well as calling our extension 8900. So that's what I have for you as far as updates, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have as well.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Senator Contreras?
Oh, I had a quick question. You said that advisors are being trained to help you with your personal and academic goals, but how do you make sure advisors don't overstep personal boundaries?
That's a great question. Yeah, advisors are trained in order to understand when something is starting to fall outside the scope of academic advisement, when to make that referral to, say, counseling services or to another support resource on campus. Because of course there are, many things advisors are very good at doing, and one of those is active listening and really being able to kind of understand a student's story and where they might need some additional supports. So in that sense, they are trained in order to make those good referrals. Often advisors will walk their students over to university counseling services, for example, so that students feel a little bit more comfortable maybe walking across that threshold and getting the help that they need. They are also trained in, how to make those appointments so they can explain the process to students. So it's not, maybe so overwhelming on top of everything else that's happening. So I hope that answers your question. It's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the board? Senator Diaz-Gomez?
In regards to the previous question that was just made, is there a possible way that we can implement people to sit in within those meetings for students that would just like someone to just be present when those meetings are occurring for just personal sake?
Like having an advocate in the meeting with them, somebody that will help them feel a little bit more comfortable.
More along the lines of just an unbiased view of what happens when those meetings occur. Because not from my own personal perspective, but I know a few people that have sat through advisement meetings where their advisors have told them that they basically could not pursue what they were pursuing, and it doesn't feel right for that student to be told that. And it would just, I feel like a simple solution to that would just be getting someone to sit within those meetings in an unbiased standard to just relay what happens during those meetings.
I understand. So having somebody else, just kind of another set of ears to listen, so to speak, so they can help kind of process what was said. I mean, of course, we do have to maintain FERPA, right? The Educational Rights to Privacy Act. So if a student wanted to be able to share information, there's a process that they can go through to indicate who can have access to that information. I mean, if it is a concern, a student can always certainly request to speak with the director in that office, who could sit in with the advisor and the student as well. But if there's additional, maybe special supports required, they can of course always go to the director and request those accommodations be made as well, and they can work with the student. Yeah. Those are difficult conversations to have with students and to hear on the receiving end as well. So I appreciate you bringing that point up.
Thank you, Vice President Geminiano Aragon.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you
Hi.
for being here. Something that I wanted to ask you about is for those students who are approaching the completion of their degree, something that I think would be useful and very helpful is if maybe there could be appointments where you could meet with an advisor and plan the entirety of your degree. It might not be totally accurate to what it's going to look like, but I think that would really help with visualizing when you're also going to graduate. So I wanted to ask you, can advisors provide this service? And also, if so, is there a time limit to follow?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. That's something that, in fact, a lot of students will request is, they want to sit down and just really understand, like, what does their 4 years look like? What does their 5 or 6 years look like? And that's a very important question. So how it works typically, like beyond the roadmaps that are available in the catalog, right? There's going to be some deviations potentially from the roadmaps based on where a student's coming in at as far as their categories in like math and writing. And then, it's kind of like an ideal outline to follow. But things happen, life happens, right? And so advisors can help students plan out. Usually they prefer to go semester by semester because of prerequisites, co-requisites, all of those kinds of, instances. But there is a way to also use the degree planning tools in order to help kind of map that out for students as well. So an advisor can sit with the student, teach them how to use those tools so that they can do it even as things change, and we're about to launch a newer tool that's everybody's really excited about, should be really accurate, where it ties in all these different systems so that if a student, say, doesn't pass their very first prereq, then they'll know what their following semesters will look like accordingly. So as we get that kind of rolling out until then, students can ask for degree planning services. Usually what happens is if a student requests something like that during like what we call peak advisement times, when it's really busy, which is typically, once advising holds go on through the first like 3 weeks of the semester, it can be hard to fit in those additional appointments where everybody's really focused on making sure students get seen in order to plan out their semester. So those holds get released, they can register for classes, et cetera. But beyond at peak advising times, there's usually more availability for those kinds of requests.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Are there any other questions from the board? Senator Cachadia?
Hi. Hi, so I have a question that if the student had an advising meeting with their advisor and they feel some disappointment somewhere because of because of their behavior or not getting all the answers properly, is there any space that students can present their concerns and feel seen or heard?
Yes, thank you for that question. So having the directors of college advising in place allows for there to be some person that's there that can, a student can escalate, right, a situation to if needed. So if it's something that can't, they
an opportunity to really showcase CSUN in a great light. So with most universities holding commencement at the same time, record demand is expected for rental gowns. By planning ahead, CSUN can ensure students have continued affordable access, high quality, sustainable regalia that celebrates our identity and supports our values of sustainability, access, and student success. So I'm going to let her take this one.
All right. So for some of you may be thinking, why are we thinking about doing a custom gown? Overall, we're looking at just really modernizing our CSUN design. I know we've seen a lot of just trademark and logoing changing over the years, but overall kind of giving our campus a further sense of tradition and identity here. I think you all are our main society that is engulfed with pride and tradition. So really kind of giving a visual aid to our gowns and our ceremonies. I think with the commencement ceremonies, we're celebrating our families, our friends, those who are kind of going to be sharing that experience that are there with you, kind of giving us a bigger sense of identity to see how strong our alumni network is. It also kind of positions us to kind of be an innovator in the sense of custom gowns really allows for us to kind of showcase this across the board. As Christopher was mentioning, with social media, we're seeing a lot of different campuses graduating the same weekend. I know we all already use social media as our platform with all of our hashtags and just in general with graduation. So kind of having another pillar of what our CSUN identity is. And then just kind of creating a sense of long-lasting, just consistency when it comes to rentals. So I know for most of you who are planning on graduating, which should be all of you, and who are graduating next year, the next few steps that are occurring are going to be like Grad Fest. You're going to be asking these questions in regards to how do I get my cap and gown so that I can either take photos with family and friends, send out announcements. So really kind of, one, giving a sense of ease to know that your gown is going to be available for you when you want it to be available.
And so behind you, you'll see the baccalaureate gown or the bachelor's gown that you're all going to be typically seeing at every ceremony across the nation. You see no special embroidery. This is the traditional black gown. You'll see embroideries, cuffs, piping, or absent of that. And that's a standard black gown that you will see. Now, if you were to go to the campus store at the moment, or what we would see, we are forecasting that if we wanted to at this time, we would order 30 or around 10,000 or 12,000, depending on the class size, 10,000 black gowns, all black gowns for the graduating class. That is one option on the table, all right? And so this is what the current black gown looks like at the moment.
All right, so some options that we can go with when it comes to the custom gown option. It really allows for us to do a lot of just different items to the overall gown. So we can do anything from red piping that goes along the front of the cap or front of the gown, as well as we get the opportunity to do customizable cuff and coloring. We've seen this at a few other campuses where you can see at the very bottom on the left-hand side, you see the red striping at the bottom with the CSUN, or on the right, you see it just with the CSUN in red piping there or red stitching. But there's a lot of customizable options when it comes to this. I think overall it allows for, one, the logoing to be seen from afar. So that way, if you are maybe thinking about getting a custom sash or having something available for you on the day of the ceremony, gives you a little bit more real estate. So you don't have to put CSUN coming down your sash there. It gives you more real estate when it comes to your mortarboard. If you want to design it a little bit differently, it's really kind of tailored to how you want your graduation day to look like and how you also want to kind of share out your own personal identity. So giving out, one, the option of a custom gown, but then overall giving a little bit more flexibility when it comes to the overall design.
And unfortunately, these pictures don't do it justice because the lighting in this room is just a bit off, or the sun is shining a little too brightly. But if we were to turn those lights off, you'd see, if you zoomed in, the piping goes across the gown in certain areas. Perhaps you can see it a little differently. Nope, not able to see it. But if you were to zoom in a little bit, the ends of those tails there for the master's regalia, you would see the CSUN stitching. Our colors, yes, red, white, and black. So the stitching there at the bottom left-hand side, you could see would be red and black there. Unfortunately, it's just the pictures aren't doing it justice. But those doctoral gowns, what you're seeing again is a unified color and distinction that would be across all gowns, and kind of moving through, so that we consistently, again, going with what Sabrina had said just a second ago, a consistency of marketing and branding, so that it frees up real estate, so that you can tailor your own and continually have that opportunity to, I guess, put your clubs, your organizations and whatnot, but still have CSUN echo through your caps and gowns over and over again, as we've seen before. Now I'm going to have Sabrina talk a little bit about the pricing, which you would assume, adding all the stitching, all this embroidery and whatnot, what would that do to the cost of your rental regalia?
All right, so overall rental pricing, I think just one across the board, we understand that pricing just with inflation and just every day is really, really high. As students, as just everyday living, we understand that portion. Right now, what we have traditionally gone with the rental pricing with the bachelor's gown is at a $55 price range. This has been consistent for the last few years. And with the custom gown, with having it be with our current vendor, they have really minimized our pricing just because of our campus, the size of our campus, also just in overall, just the consistency we've had. So we were looking at an increase in $3 for the custom gown with the stitching and all of the piping. So it would increase to $58. For the master's students, it would go up about $5. So from $100 to $105 for a rental. And anybody who is graduating with their doctoral program from $444 to $449. So the largest increase that we see here is going to be about $5. And with options, like if you wanted to keep your cap and gown and rental, with those options still being available to you as well.
Right. This is a rental price, so obviously the price would increase if you were to look at a purchase price. Those would be, I have those prices too. And we would, if you were interested in that, you are always able to purchase a gown. That was always an option for you. They would size you up at the GradFest timeframe, and you would just get that done at that juncture. They would take you through the various options, et cetera, et cetera. So let me know if you're interested in that pricing, and I can walk through that. The next thing. So why are we excited? Again, our approach to the custom regalia extends beyond branding. It embodies the CSUN values, sustainability. I have a little blip there that talks about it uses a reprieve fabric for each gown, which is better than the gown that is currently being utilized. So the reprieve fabric, each gown repurposes an equivalent of about 391 plastic bottles. So it weaves in the plastic and it it maintains the same soft traditional feel, but it actually lets it breathe a little bit better. And so it feels a little bit lighter and whatnot. It maintains its tradition. It's built to last with that matador pride. Each gown features the distinctive CSUN colors, that branding, et cetera. And then it creates a better marketing campaign for stronger visuals. That photo just pops a little bit better. For the ceremonies, it reinforces that CSUN identity among the families and the alumni, et cetera, et cetera. And so you'll know exactly when you're seeing a CSUN student, get it photographed. So this will return great value, we think, to the university and to yourselves. So it makes me want to get that doctorate once and for all, And so I'm going to say one more thing. We're starting with you as the first audience of students that we're trying to get this information to, and then we have. But we do need the most important feedback is the student feedback to make sure that this is something that you want. So we are now opening this up to questions, and we're interested to know what your thoughts are on this matter. So that leaves it to you. Do you have any questions for us?
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Senator Quiroga?
If you could you please go over the pricing for buying the gowns?
Yeah, sure,
as well?
of course. So currently, and this is a ballpark because of course you will be the one who is able to tell us what type of fabric you're wanting. The reprieve fabric, if you wanted that really new, like airy fabric, that goes up to about $385. So the other fabric that used to be the heavier, thicker cotton fabric of just the all black was about $300. But then, some of you will say, well, I can go to Amazon and get a really inexpensive etc. gown, which is somewhere between $30 or something. And this is where you get the high school lightweight gown and whatnot. So you can, of course, get a different type of fabric. So there are a range of prices and a lot of different types of fabrics, which you can customize as well. So this is a conversation that you would have with Herb Jones directly. But if you're going to get the exact same heavier weight fabric that you're looking at, the one that you're going to be renting, the same exact one, that duplicate gown, if you will, that would be a $385 one versus the $300 gown that is in all black that if we were to get all black ones today. And that goes to $585 for the master's regalia and then $910 for the doctorate. So it went from $300 to $385 for all black versus custom, $505 to $585 for the master's regalia, and then $855 to $910 for the all black doctorate to custom doctorate. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Senator Dominguez?
Hi, y'all. So thank you for coming here and showing us your presentation. I think that this is a really good idea, and I'm personally really excited for it because I do agree, the all black, there's nothing special about that, but what you've come here to present to us today is something special, and I'm really excited for it.
Excellent. Glad to hear.
Thank you. Senator Gavino?
Yeah, thank you for coming today. So you mentioned that you're ordering these 10,000 gowns every year, but now that they're custom, would they stay housed at CSUN? Would you return it to the company? It would be sent back every year? Or how would that work? Because obviously it can be used for other schools because it would be stitched with the CSUN typeface.
It's a great question. So it is a reserved set of gowns. They get returned back to the factory every year, but they're reserved for CSUN directly. So they get recycled, and they are just for CSUN utility, and they are rinsed repeat. So it is they're dry cleaned, if you will, and then they're brought back to our housing facility that is still in California, and then brought back. Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the board?
There is a clause on our if we do change our logoing, for example, the CSUN logo, there is a clause in it that we can flip it out if we need to. Yeah.
Senator Cachadillo?
So I have a question that as you mentioned that you would give some specification about the college that you can just see a student and you can guess with their gown that they belong to that college. So what was about that? So I want to know more about that.
I can go ahead and jump in. Yeah, so the overall gown isn't going to have any like specific college indicators on there. What it's going to be is still our traditional tassel that is going to be specific to your college. So say for instance, if you are graduating from the College of Health and Human Development, you're going to have a specific tassel color that's going to be there. The same kind of policy if you're double majoring and you have multiple colleges that you are currently getting a baccalaureate degree from, you'll still be able to wear either of those options on your ceremony, but the actual cap and or the gown isn't going to have any specific stitching specific to the college.
What does change, generally speaking, is the color of discipline when you look at master's degrees or doctorate degrees. So there you can see there's one that has some light blue in it. That light blue doctoral hood will change depending on the discipline for the doctoral, for example, or if you were to have a master's degree, you'll see the change of the hood color. So what you can't see in the center there is that there's a spruce colored collar there, and that's for the doctorate of audiology. So we do change that color. That does change, but again, you want to see a through line, and that is the color of the university. And so you want to say that you're a university graduate. So that wants to stay the same. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the board? Okay, I am graduating hopefully next semester, and I'm very excited to be able to.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope that we can say you're looking forward to seeing one of you in this gown.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Hey.
Just because CSUN is something that I will hold very dear to my heart always, and I feel like that is how a lot of us will see when we leave this university. So I think being able to rep it while you're walking the stage is kind of the best part about being able to say that you graduated.
You would be the first CSU to be repping these, so just saying. Let's be the first. Let's be the first. Let's be the first.
Okay, but Senator Quiroga.
Really quickly, sorry, this might be redundant, but will the gowns, when you rent them or buy them, come with the caps as well, or that is a separate charge?
So you always will be able to keep the gown, the hat, and the tassel. That's always going to be a thing. Yeah.
Amazing. Are there any other questions? Senator Basilio? Permission to be recognized. Granted. Senator Cabrera Figueroa?
Permission to be recognized.
Granted.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Okay, and we will now move over to open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address the Associated Student Senate regarding any issues affecting CSUN students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. Please sign in using the clipboard for minute recording purposes.
Good morning, Senate. Vicki Allen, the Executive Director. I wanted to take this time to do something that was created back on 2011-1203. It was Senate Bill 2011-1203 by your former leadership coordinator, Leanne Vincent, and it's called the Tradition of the Rose. The Tradition of the Rose is laid at the base of the Matador statue by every Matador who wants to commemorate or celebrate an achievement. And what I want to do right now is have James come on up. So James normally is the first person to address you during open forum. And he's always talking about what is happening with programs as the programs manager. And he's been talking about, farmers market, he's been talking about Thrift Thursdays and tons of other things, but he's also been talking about this event called The Big Show. Now, I have the pleasure of being at the very first Big Show. And then I missed the Big Show, Big Show 10 with LMFLO. And then after that, I would just kind of stop in for like 5 minutes and I would do my Saturday. So this past weekend was the first Big Show. that I've been to where I had a ton of fun, a ton of fun. And I hope you had a ton of fun as well. And if you weren't there, you missed it. And every other student here at this university missed it as well, because I now like EDM music. I took a picture with Galantis and I kind of stalked him. James knows that because I texted him. I'm like, how can I meet him? Right. And so I just kind of inched my way after the show ended. It was a really great day. And what was wonderful is that there were so many students, and it was a range of students. So we had older students. I was out there like videotaping students that are like closer to my age. They were out there dancing, having a great time, as well as young first-time students. I was over in the Belinda Wilson Garden. There was a lot of students sitting alone. So I would walk down and sit next to them and introduce myself and ask them, are you new to CSUN? And they're like, yeah. I would say, do you live on campus? Yeah. Are you here by yourself? Yeah, I have some friends. They say they may come, but I really didn't want to miss it. So we talked and I said, well, hey, there's tons of things to do. Go over there and get yourself a bracelet that won't come off, or go get yourself an airbrush tattoo. And many of them did. And I had a couple of them later on say, thank you for just walking up and introducing yourself to me. I had a great time. This was the best weekend. And so that was all due to what students started, but what was led by James. So come on over here, James. So here's a bouquet of 12 roses. I want you to give them to your team. An incredible team. And the thing is, it's not just James. There's a lot of people that are behind the scenes, and there's a lot of staff that's here as well that were a part of this day. And so I want to have all the staff. I want to start with John. So John was up in the command center. Now, if you're in the command center, it means that you're stuck in a room. Like you can't even do a permission to be recognized to go to the bathroom. You got to stay in that room and just be overseeing the entire event. And so he was really great because I didn't want to be on a walkie-talkie. I just wanted to enjoy the event. And so he kept me informed about things that were happening that I needed to know. So thank you. And then we have Tim Shapansky, who was also out there doing his thing. And then as I make my way around, we have, of course, Kevin. And Kevin did some important things for us as well in his role. And then, were you out there, Aaron? Okay. Who else am I? Okay, so there was a lot of people, Johnny, who does our risk management, like he reviews all the contracts, and James knows that I called them into a meeting to go over the Big Show contract. And I was asking them questions, and James says, Vicki, I'm not an attorney. And so they did a lot of great work. So I just want to commend them for the incredible work that they did for Big Show. I've got tons of video. You have tons of video as well. Make sure that you get it to our marketing team, to Daniel, so that they can integrate all the great things that they took, as well as things that you took as students at that event. So great job. And let's go ahead and give James and the team a round of applause.
You're good. Well, while Vicki writes her name, I will go up next. So good morning, everyone. My name is James Forrester. I serve as the AS Programs Manager to give you a general update about what our programs are for this week. I'll also touch on Big Show towards the end here in a second. For this week, just want to give you all a heads up. We are aware that there is a storm coming through, so it might be raining a lot tomorrow. If that is the case, it is possible that there will not be a farmer's market because the food vendors can't cook in the rain, because then you have rainwater and oil and all that other fun stuff. And you can't cook under a tent because that's against the fire marshal, all that fun stuff. So stay tuned to our Instagrams. We'll let you all know if it is canceled or not. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that weather forecast and see what happens. Thursday this week, we'll have Thursday Thrift. We're super excited for that. And that event has been getting some good reception so far. So again, if you have any clothing items that are either no longer your vibe or don't fit anymore, feel free to bring them on by. We can also, if you just like bring them to your office, we can work something out with you all in this room to help come get them if it's just you're in class or something like that during that time period. Additionally, if you have any leftover Halloween costumes from previous years, we're currently collecting that because our final Thursday Thrift of October, we're going to do a specific Halloween costume one where like you can come and grab an old costume from someone who's done with it, and you can take a new costume from someone else. So if you have stuff in your closet that's like, why do I have this Halloween costume? We'll take it. And then, yeah, finally, Big Show. Thank you, Vicki, for all of those kind words and also for the roses. Fun fact, men don't get roses a lot, so it's kind of fun to finally get some. But I just wanted to give you all an update on Big Show. It went very well. Our final numbers, so we distributed 2,439 tickets. We had about 1,700 people that were physically scanned into the venue. That number's always a little shaky because sometimes the scanner doesn't work. But we know you have a ticket. We do our best we can with it. But about that was kind of those two numbers that we're looking at there. Today, my team is mostly remote, relaxing, being all that kind of stuff and getting some rest. And so if you need Milana or Liz for anything, they are not in the Sustainability Center today. They are at home. But the rest of the team will be back on site for tomorrow, even if it rains or not, we'll see. But overall, we heard really good feedback, and we're going to be getting a lot of other kinds of surveys and whatnot to kind of see what people liked about Big Show, what they thought could be improved, what things went well and they want back next year. So just be on the lookout for those kinds of things. And mostly, I just want to say thank you all to all of you who were there and to all of the staff members that helped in different ways, whether it was before the show, during the show, or after the show. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. And amazing work, James. We know how much effort and how much passion you have for AS and how hard you worked for, I want to say, the last few months just for this Big Show, and you do this every single year. So I commend you for everything. Is there anyone else here for open forum?
Okay, hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is Araceli Torres. I currently serve as the chair of elections. I do want to talk a little bit about my candidate for assistant chair of elections. His name is Tommy Nuno. He has great and strong leadership and advocacy experience from his time in his own AS leadership at his community college, where he served as the vice president of administration. They also have experience as an election commissioner, helping to promote student participation and fair campaigning. He was also able to provide many new ideas throughout his interview on how to spread the word of AS and USU elections to our students on campus. But enough about me and me talking about him, but he's here to introduce himself as well.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? That's good. That's good. I just wanted to introduce myself to the board. So, hello there. My name is Tommy Nuno, pronouns he, him. I'm currently a senior at CSUN and I'm majoring in music. I'm going down the education route, so I'll be at CSUN for a while, regardless of the fact that I'm a senior. So, I'm applying to the credential program. So, I'll be here a while nonetheless. I applied for the assistant chair of elections, as Araceli mentioned, and also, as she mentioned, I was the election commissioner at Glendale Community College in Glendale, California. And with my role as election commissioner, I was regulating the processes, making sure elections were a smooth, fair, and accessible process to all the students. So that's one of my goals if elected for the position here as well. Additionally, I was the vice president of administration, as also mentioned. So I was doing meetings similar to this, parliamentary procedure, all of that advocacy. So I love the thrill and excitement of elections in any student body in general, and I'm hoping to continue that excitement here. And my main goal in this position, if chosen, is to emphasize the importance of elections, not only for the people running, but for the general student body who may be somewhat apathetic towards the whole process, ignorant towards the process, like they don't know why people are running for all these positions and not doing anything about it, and just emphasizing that every person's vote matters, no matter how much you care about the campus or not. And I look forward to serving this year if chosen for the position. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else here for open forum?
Good note. That's funny. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Diana Vicente, also known as Camila Vicente's big sister. And my main goal here, other than to embarrass her, is to say hi to all of you, introduce myself. I was actually in your shoes many, many years ago. I served as AS president 2019 to 2020. Before that, I was also the chair of elections. I worked for social media marketing. And after that, I served as CSSA chair during my first year of grad school. So it's an honor to be here and to meet you all. It's always a pleasure to come back. It was an honor to serve. I now work for the city of Los Angeles as a senior field deputy for Council Member Unices Hernandez in downtown LA. And that is thanks to all of the work that I did here in AS and the experience that the roles that you have today gave me in that position. You have a great honor to be in these roles as president, and I wrote down some stuff. As president, I was able to serve on the presidential search that hired Dr. Beck into her current president role. I was also part of the initial committee to change the university library name from what it was to what it is now. We got to start our own The Funds You Deserve scholarship, which you still have and is able to serve some students here. And we also started Commuter Week. We brought the idea of outside Senate. I don't know if y'all still do that, but we brought Senate to the outside in front of the library so that students could see it out there in front of them and know what it was. And then during our second semester, we got hit with COVID. And I was at some conference for CSSA when Dr. Watkins called me and gave me that call that we were shutting down campus and nothing was ever the same. And so it's just such an honor to be here and to see it all back together and to tell you that you have so much support, not only here in the university, but with your alumni. All of us who served in AS in the past, we keep a close eye as to what's going on in CSUN still. We care so much about the campus. We're always happy and ready to come back. Some of my biggest friends right now are still and were my chair of personnel. Some other Senate and staff that served with me are still some of my closest friends. And so you're here to really make those lifelong memories and lifelong friendships. And just to give a huge shout out to all of the mentors that you have here in front of you, Dr. Watkins, Dr. Shelley, Tim, Kevin, John, Denise, Vicki Allen, congratulations as well on the new role as executive director. These are mentors that shape everything about your future and who you become. So please utilize them. Listen to their advice. Don't be like I was and ignore them and don't listen to their advice and then make mistakes and then say I should have listened to their advice. But seriously, it's such an honor, and I'm around if you want to touch base on some old stories. I feel like that old person that comes back and it's like, remember when I was president? But anyway, it's so good to see you all, and please take care of Camila Vicente, aka your best senator. And yes, I get to say that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the kind words. And yeah, I guess Camila is our best senator. Is there anyone else here for open forum? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move into reports. Good morning, everyone. Again, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. This was a very decent week. I know a lot of you guys had midterms. I also had a few essays due and they kind of kicked my butt. So starting off, I had our chair of outreach and recruitment meeting. So Sheen is now officially onboarded. And as you guys know, she hit the ground running. She already has several projects. So I'm very, very proud of all the progress that she has done. I had a meeting with the Central American and Trans-Border Studies Department Chair on a project that I was hoping that I could get started on, so I'm very excited about that. I assisted Senator Vicente with the President's Code, so hopefully internal will be getting a finalized version. We had Faculty Senate on October 9th. Where President Beck informed us that the Department of Homeland Security is looking to change international student visas to have a fixed expiration date of 4 years. This is being challenged in the courts, so we will see what happens. CSUN is keeping a very close eye on this case as many of you guys know, a lot of students that the CSU serves are international students, so this does affect them in a different way. We also got some updates from the provost on the applications for transfers for spring 2026. They are down, but resident applications are up from last year. And the Faculty Senate voted and adopted the resolution calling for collaborative redesign of the large grant program through shared governance. From my understanding, some of the protocols in how the large grant program is being distributed didn't include faculty feedback, so they're trying to find a way to have it be implemented as well. We also got updates on the Americans with Disability Act, where we saw there will be new legal standard for web, mobile, documents, videos, and social media. Our institution as a whole has an accessibility score of 62%, and it has been at 62% for the last few years, but our Canvas page and assignments are at a 97%. So you win some, you lose some. So I'm hoping that our university will look at more ways to be more accessible here on our campus. I also found out that student employees are being trained in more accessibility course materials, so that explains why a lot of our Canvas pages are a lot more accessible than they have been before. For IRA, we approved 2 requests and tabled 2. For personnel, we approved a few job postings. And then our campus fee advisory committee was mainly an orientation just to get us prepared for the next meeting. Looking on to this week, Alvaro and I have a meeting with Ron Phillip. I have a one-on-one with Executive Director Allen. I have a meeting with the California California State. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. California. I have a meeting with CSAC. I don't know why I cannot say the acronym right now. But I have a meeting with CSAC for their 6th annual College Affordability Summit, where I will be monitoring and I will be serving as a panelist on a student panel alongside a representative for the community college, the private institutions, and the UCs, and I will be representing the CSUs. And as many of you guys know, myself, Alvaro, and Chair Rosales will be leaving on Friday for our October plenary in East Bay. So we look forward to coming back with you guys with more information. If any of you guys are interested in what we will be discussing in this coming weekend, please let me know. It's also available on their Instagram. But yeah, I just want to say again thank you so much to productions and to the rest of our AS admin for the amazing Big Show. It was so much fun. It was only the 2nd Big Show that I've ever been to. And I actually got there a lot earlier than I did last year. So I got to enjoy it a bit more. But I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for all the hard work you guys all do. And I look forward to being one of those presidents that comes by again for Big Show next year. But that is it for my report. Are there any questions? Senator Diaz-Gomez.
Point of personal privilege.
Granted. Okay, if there are no questions, that concludes my report, and we will move over to Vice President Geminiano Aragon's report.
Thanks, President Sarabia. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you all are well, and it was great to see some of you during Big Show. For this week's report, I trained Senator Cachadilla and mine on our Senate standing rules and our duties and expectations for senators. I also touched base with Sheen Gupta, the Chair of Outreach and Recruitment, on projects that I want her to accomplish for this semester, the main one being the introductory video to Senate and Cabinet. She sent you all an email with a doodle poll, so if you haven't filled it out yet, please do so immediately. She will be coordinating our times with the ones that marketing has. President Sarabia and I will be recording an Associated Students 2025-2026 video as a testament to AS advocacy efforts, goals for the year, and enhancing Matador pride. I want to especially recognize the advocacy efforts of all seasoned students during the October 7th event. We stand with our entire student community and will continue to advocate for students' needs, rights, safety, and success. Associated Students remains dedicated to promoting safety, well-being, and respectful dialogue across our community. In addition to the events, rumors of immigration enforcement officers on campus began to circulate. I was able to confirm with the Department of Police Services that this was not true and that the officers were present for standard support for DPS. I send this communication through Flare, and I appreciate your help in distributing this information. In the future, if any matters are brought up to your attention that may impact the safety of CSUN students, please reach out so that we can either confirm this issue or ensure the appropriate campus department provides support. I had my first meeting for reviewing CSUN's flag protocol. We will be assessing our current practices, such as strengths and areas of improvement. We are in the process of researching other universities' approach to it. The goal is to provide recommendations to President Beck at the end of the semester, making sure that the flag protocol is inclusive and legally compliant. I attended the CSSA Central Region Engagement Meeting. We discussed on the priorities for students on campus, and some of the main discussion topics were ensuring equitable access to resources, shared governance, security, and AI implementations. I attended the October IRA meeting. Additionally, I trained the cabinet members on parliamentary procedure and expectations that must be standardized for their committees. Additionally, cabinet members will be filling out their semester guideline. I created this to provide them with support for their goals for the semester. I attended the AS October Personnel Board meeting as well as the first Campus Fee Advisory Committee. For week 8, here is your checklist. Attend our check-ins, prepare with updates on your event and personal projects. We'll review them together and I'll provide support for both. I want these check-ins to feel more relaxed, so I'll reach out in terms of getting you with help and guidance throughout your senator journey. So I send those invitations on Friday. Please make sure that you know when we are going to be meeting. As we are approaching the middle of the semester, I highly recommend trying to schedule a follow-up meeting with your deans. Remember that you should be meeting with them 3 times per semester. And as we're also approaching your events, this would be a great idea to get them involved with it. Thank you, and if there is anything I can help you with, please let me know.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Vice President's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Chief of Staff, Boberg's report.
Hello, everybody. Hope we're having a good morning. This was a productive week for me as I got to meet with each cabinet member individually in our first one-on-ones. We used this time to discuss some areas that they could improve and just ask general questions that they might have for me. By making this scheduled and bi-weekly, I hope to stay closely connected with each of my cabinet members so that they can achieve their goals. I also assisted the president in training and onboarding our new chair of outreach and recruitment. She's already off to the races and she's doing a wonderful job. I also attended my weekly committee meetings of external affairs and university affairs, where we made some progress on several referrals. And I also attended the first DEI committee meeting where they brainstormed some ideas for areas of improvement and just some of the events planning that's coming for this year. It was great to see so many active committee members with great ideas, and I hope to see what they accomplish. We also had our weekly cabinet meeting where we discussed reports and a few important topics. And the vice president also gave a presentation on ParleyPro to further solidify cabinet's comfortability with procedure. And I also went to Big Show, and it was a very good time. All right, and then on to our chair of DEI. So she had her first committee meeting, which I already talked about, which currently has 6 members. Hopefully we'll get up to that 10 number as soon as possible. They're working on implementing the Officer of Diversity and Inclusion as a requirement for student organizations. Additionally, she's also working on her open forums, which she wants to discuss with MIC for organization, and so that students are able to voice their opinions. They're also working on ways to improve dress for students, which is something that came up as a topic of discussion in DEI committee. And she also had her first one-on-one with me. And then for next week, the DEI committee is hopefully working on more event planning and then that advocation with dress. She also hopes to meet with MIC to discuss those open forums and the DEI inclusion position. All right, and then on to our chair of elections. So she is still interviewing for her 2 positions that she needs to fill. Ideally, the assistant chair position gets filled. She's also worked with marketing this week, where they finalized the elections theme. She also went over her election committee's code to get comfortable for this week. And she had her first one-on-one with me. She wants to have her first fall event, ideally December 3rd, which will be an info session and a discussion about the elections. And then she's still finalizing availability from her committee members so that she can have her first committee meeting starting very soon. All right, and then on to our chair of ledge report, which is a little short. Good morning, Matadors. So this week he had his first one-on-one with me, and then he also met with his committee members to discuss their first meeting. And then he also reached out to a few people about potential hosting events for student voting and engagement. This week, he's hoping to establish his lobby corps meeting time, and he's also planning to do some tabling as long as the farmers market doesn't get canceled, which would be very unfortunate. And then he also has a comment to say that Big Show was a huge success and that they had a great time hosting East Bay and San Jose. All right, and then on to our new report, which is from Chair of Outreach and Recruitment. So she finished her training with the president and myself and got started on catching up on all her position's responsibilities. She familiarized herself with the committee codes and started going over the eligibility document and sending out emails for rejection and offer letters. She's planning to schedule potential interviews and worked with the marketing team to schedule a time for pictures in order to update the website. She also sent out email requests and availability for the cabinet members and Senate members in order to do our introductory video, which will be coming very soon. And then this coming week, she hopes to schedule interviews for Chief Justice, Elections Committee, and send out interview invites to potential members for her own committee. And she hopes to finalize the schedule for the AS and Senate cabinet intro video with the marketing team. And then that's all.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Chief of Staff report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Chair of Finance, Tourette's report.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Over the past week, I've continued our work in the finance area. As of October 10th, the balance account for supplemental totals are as follows. STAR holds 200,000. The unassigned contingency has an updated beginning balance of $575,602. The fill fund sits at $7,400, and the clubs and organization travel remains at $25,000. This week, I collaborated with our marketing team to begin creating a video that will promote the financial resources available to all students and RSOs. I also held my first finance committee meeting, which went very well and was a good introduction to the finance committee. I've also attended the IRA board this week, as well as the personnel and CFAC meeting. Looking ahead, we'll be holding our second finance committee meeting, which is today at 1 p.m., and we'll continue to grow. Moving on to the assistant chair of finance. Last week, we had our first finance committee meeting, which went very well despite it being our first session. Huge thanks to Lionel, Denise, and Vicky for their support. Tomorrow, we'll be meeting with the marketing department to discuss informational videos on finance resources. I also attended the University Affair and Cabinet meeting, continuing working on the legislative referrals. Thank you. That's all. And yeah, Big Show was awesome. I'm so sorry if you missed it.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Chair of Finance report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our standing committee report, starting with Chair Gavino.
Good morning, everyone. In committee, continuing to work on the AI referral. Had some fruitful discussion with the committee last week about a possible survey, how many questions we should be asking, what kind of questions we should be asking. Looking to refine that this week and next week to have it out by October 27th, so that marketing form will be done today. Besides that, we'll have two new referrals this week talking about kind of community involvement and external forces, as well as revisiting some resolutions that had to do with the scope of the committee. So if you're interested in those, let me know and I'll send you the agenda, and you can always come visit us on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. in the USU Executive Boardroom. Outside of committee, I just attended CFAC. It's my second year on that committee, so I look forward to engaging with that further. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on Chair Gavino's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to Chair Basilio's report.
Good morning, everyone. Last week we had good discussion, like always, on all of our referrals. Regarding the first referral, which is standardized follow-through, we do have our first follow-through update. The RHA president will be giving a presentation on the 24-hour filtered water access. So big shout out to Vice Chair Vicente for setting that up. Thank you. Please clap for her. Thank you. And regarding our increase in senator stipends referral, Senator Cabrera was able to meet with CSU Channel Islands last Friday. So again, now shout out to Senator Cabrera Figueroa. Yay! I will also be meeting with Sonoma State pretty soon. I hope to see more meetings with the rest of the CSUs and provide more updates as we go. Internal Affairs will be meeting tomorrow. You already know where, in the USU Executive Boardroom at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on Chair Basilio's report? Senator Vicente?
Okay, two things. Thank you for clapping for me. Second, point of personal privilege.
Granted. Okay, we will now move over to Chair Umana's report.
Good morning, everyone. University Affairs Committee right now, we're actively discussing the legislative referrals that we are addressing right now. So I've delegated some follow-up tasks, not only to myself, but some of the members of my committee for this Thursday. Specifically the club storage referral. We're kind of working on seeing where we can pretty much create more storage for clubs to store their materials. I had the pleasure to sit through the first DEI committee meeting. Shout out to Chair Douglas, just to get a feeling about which university policies are of concern to some of our students right now. The committee is also looking to maybe table some legislative referrals that may need rewording and reintroducing them in a way that tackles university policy a little better. Senators right now are all hands on deck on getting follow-ups for those referrals. Just as a reminder right now, University Affairs, we are tackling club storage, building checkups, subsidizing student club custodial fees, and parking availability signs. We get parking legislative referrals pretty much every semester, but I'm still trying to follow up with parking services to see if there's anything in the works right now. As a reminder, University Affairs will meet every Thursday in the Executive Boardroom at 4 p.m. And that is all I have right now.
Thank you. Are there any questions on Chair Umana's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to Executive Director Allen's report.
Good morning again. He who stands lives, he who sits perishes. This is a Maori proverb, so happy Indigenous Day. I want to go ahead and start off with first thanking all of those who have completed the conflict of interest statement that was sent out by Denise last week. This is a key thing that we want to complete as an organization as it connects to our recently completed CSU compliance audit. I want to also let you know that we successfully submitted our manager's report, our management statement on the CSU compliance audit that will be presented at a future Board of Trustees meeting. Prior to that Board of Trustees meeting, I plan to do a presentation to you at a board meeting to give you more details in terms of how the board is, or how the organization is responding to the compliance audit. I wanted to also let you know that there is still opportunity if you have an interest in being a part of the AS table at the upcoming Distinguished Alumni Awards. That is going to be happening a week from this Saturday on October the 25th. If you do have interest, please let that information be known to Denise so that she can forward your name. And this is a great opportunity for you to network with phenomenal alum like Diana, who's here today, and other alum that have cross the threshold of commencement at Cal State Northridge, but it's a wonderful networking opportunity for you to meet other faculty, staff, and administrators across campus. So if you're interested in attending, please definitely show up. We are also in our heritage and cultural program. So AS continues to engage in our LGBTQIA plus History Month. There's two outstanding events coming up this week. One is tomorrow. It is Efem Ogroit y Cochor Colas de Nuestras Cultura. I'm going to work on my Spanish, but that's Colors of Our Culture. That is October 14th in the Plaza del Sol Performance Hall. It is from 2 to 6, or actually from 4 to 6. I hope that you can make that. There is an additional event that's happening. It's a screening of Stonewall Uprising, and that's going to be on October 15th. Stonewall is a pretty historic and significant event for the LGBTQ plus IA community. So if you haven't ever seen that film or you don't know a lot about that situation, I would encourage that you come to that event as well. The last couple of things that I want to state is that there are always people in your organization that are phenomenal, and they are the backbone. And so within our student leadership area, we have our government secretary. And so Madeline was also there on Saturday working the gate and going on my video. I live stream and I corner the staff. And so she was awesome in terms of that. So I want to thank her for her work at Big Show. And then the person who keeps my life sane, Hannah, also was there this weekend at Big Show. And so I want to publicly thank her for her work at that event as well. The last thing I want to state to you is today is Monday, October 13th, and we know that this is Indigenous People Day, but we also want to know that on October 13th, 1958, California State University Northridge, known at that time as San Fernando Valley State College, officially opened its doors to students. So this is another historic day for us, and so it's always great to have students that are coming back and celebrating being a Matador, like once a Matador, always a Matador. So make sure that while you're on campus today, let people know that today is a significant day as it's the founding of this institution. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the executive director's report? Senator Vicente?
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Senator Diaz-Gomez?
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Okay, we will now move. Senator Cabrera Figueroa?
Yes, I apologize. I just wanted to get the date for the Stonewall Uprising presentation and the date for the Colors of Our Cultures event.
Thank you for asking for that. So the Colors of Our Culture is tomorrow, October 14th. It's in the Plaza del Sol. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. And then the Stonewall Uprising is the following day on October 15th from 2 to 4 p.m. And this is going to be at the Women's Research and Resource Center.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our university advisor, Asia Butler's report.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to hand out, we have some quarter sheets that we printed up with information about distributing materials on campus and reserving space on campus. So we're really just trying to, again, help educate the campus community about the university policy and requirements when it comes to wanting to distribute materials and reserve space on campus. I would really appreciate if you all could help out with talking to your constituents. We're having some issues in the classroom space where student groups are using classroom space that they haven't registered for. All reservations to use classroom space needs to go to academic resources and planning. It's also really important to keep in mind that classroom spaces are not event spaces, and this is coming from academic resources and planning. They're really for small meetings, but there shouldn't be any food in there, drinks, things like that. And so organizations will start to notice that academic resources and planning, they will start charging organizations PPM, like cleanup fees, different things like that, because they're really not supposed to have food in there. So it's really important that our student organizations are in compliance. We do share this information in our recognized student organization officer orientation training that the president and the treasurer are required to complete as part of the registration process. So, we reiterate this different times to them, but it's really important that student organizations are making sure, number one, they have a reservation to use space on campus, and they are not using that space inappropriately. So with the classroom space, no food, no drinks, no beverages, different things like that. So that's that. You all can keep the extras in AS if you like. And then the last thing is tomorrow for our fall leadership series, the topic is on building inclusive and diverse organizations. Susanna Rogan, the Assistant Director for Outreach, Prevention, and Education in the Office of Equity and Compliance, will be facilitating that. Again, that's Tuesday, October 14th from 12 to 1 in the Ventura Room. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the University Advisors Report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move past our faculty advisor into new business, starting with the approval of the following appointments. Tommy Nuno for Assistant Chair of Elections and Mercedes Barrios for Finance Committee for as a representative of the College of Health and Human Development. Is there a motion? Senator Dominguez?
I move to approve Tommy Munoz for Assistant Chair of Elections.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Quiroga, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of approving Tommy Nuno for Assistant Chair of Elections, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. This passes unanimously. Yay! Congratulations. Moving on to our second appointment, is there a motion? Senator Quiroga?
I move to approve Mercedes Barrios for Finance Committee.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Humana, is there any discussion? Senator Basilio?
Just a refresher question, there's only one student for each college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Diaz Gomez?
Did Mercedes Barrios come today to present at all? To introduce himself during open forum?
I am not sure, but she did not speak at open forum. Chair Durrett?
She's back there. Raise your hand, Mercedes. So she did not speak in open forum, but she is here.
Yes. But unfortunately, she cannot speak outside of open forum. So, yeah. Are there any other questions? Senator Cabrera Figueroa?
Yeah, for Mercedes, our apologies. Did Mercedes have an interview with any staff members beforehand, and who were those staff members that we can direct questions towards?
Mercedes did an interview with our Chair Tourette and Chief of Staff Boberg. Is there a specific question that you want to?
Yes, and then I wanted to ask, did Mercedes happen to say anything that indicated a particular interest towards finance or experience with finance?
Yeah, so she expressed her interest in the finance committee just because she is minoring in finance analytics, I believe. And she also was a treasurer back in her high school. She's interested in budgeting. So those were the two things that she highlighted when speaking to me in her interview.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion or questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of approving Mercedes Barrios for Finance Committee, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. Congratulations. Okay, that was it for our new business. We will now move over to information items, starting with our graduate Senator Cunan's report. Cunanan.
Hi, everyone. So just an update on my Senate event. It's going to be a graduate student mixer. And currently the flyer for it is in progress, and I had my meeting with Daniel Ramos regarding it. I will also brief Senator Mane on my event as well. For my personal project, I originally planned to look into how graduate students are using the Season with the Heart, specifically the food pantry. But unfortunately, there was a lack of data on that, so I will be pivoting my personal project to potentially doing a toiletry drive for the food pantry. In terms of office hours, just using this prepared for committees. I'm on the Graduate Studies Committee and Student Equity Committee, as well as the Internal Affairs Committee, and I am assisting Senator Cabrera Figueroa with a regarding SB 005 regarding Project Rebound, and also helping Senator Karka with SB 007. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on our graduate senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our upper division Senator Arias Gomez report.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to everyone that was at Big Show. We cooked. I hope you guys had a great time like I did, because I definitely was beyond sore from my calves from the jumping, and I had slightly lost my voice the day after. But besides that, some vital updates as for my Senate event. It's been officially been given the green light, so yay, Daniel. I will be contacting you very soon, so watch out. As for as for an update, I have finally gotten an email back for my meeting with the AVP, so yay for that. We will be meeting really soon, and then as well as for ideas for my sorry, give me one second. Oh yes, as for that meeting, I hope to get some ideas and more like wisdom from the AVP himself and see where I can possibly take my event planning and hopefully get more ideas for events and even maybe upgrade my personal project just up a bit. But yes, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on our upper division senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will now move over to our lower division Senator Garcia's report.
Hi guys, happy Monday. Sorry, happy Monday. So for my report, last week I was able to attend the first Haku training, since I will be heading out at the end of the month on October 31st. For the Senate event, I have also been working with my co-senator. We have been defining the small details as well. But yeah, that's all now. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on our lower division senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our science and math Senator Karka's report.
Hi, everyone. Some updates is for my event, I've begun communicating with the interim dean and the coordinator for this open house that we're having that I'm just going to be tabling for. And then for my committee of internal affairs, I have emailed the Amatsu House, and I am also emailing the CSU states and all to see the stipend funding for senators. And Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Science and Math Senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Social and Behavioral Sciences Senator Cabrera Figueroa's report.
Hello, everyone. There we go. Awesome. So as everyone else has said as well, I did go to Big Show. If you guys didn't, you missed out. That was a lot of fun. So in terms of my Senate event called More Than a Major is under development and is currently on track. A big thank you to Daniel and Raquel who have already designed a flyer. I think at the moment we're just kind of finalizing it. And I am looking into food for the event, but this should be ready for marketing by the start of next week, I believe. And then the event itself will be the 28th. So if you would like to stop by, learn about the different minors that the college offers, please stop by Whitsitt Hall, Whitsitt Room, Sierra Hall 451 on October 28th, 11 to 1. For my personal project, I'm working on a transitional packet to help pass over to next generations of senators. I know this is in an effort that others have attempted before. It hasn't been, or at least not in my position, fully completed. Also integrating different frameworks to establish college-wide events for future years. In regards to internal committee, working on referral 2025-26-002 for follow-ups on previous resolutions. I've met with Ron and IT regarding the Project Rebound website and how that can be corrected or adjusted to reflect recent changes in the department. I've also reached out to Dr. Mason to speak with him in regard to following up about Senate Bill 2024-2025-006, funding to cultural houses. And then, as mentioned earlier, I reached out to CSU Channel Islands, their Assistant Director, Annie Block-Weiss, for follow-ups regarding the referral 2025-26-007 regarding senator stipends. I'm in communications with Executive Director Kwan at CSU Bakersfield and am in communications with Sandra at CSU Chico as well. In terms of some other things, I'll be joining on the Finance Committee today, 1 to 2:30. Obviously, we have our internal committee, 4 to 5 p.m. tomorrow. And in terms of other opportunities, over the weekend, there continues to be canvassing opportunities for Prop 50 in case anyone happens to be interested in that. But that'll be an offer that is promoted through the college to students as an opportunity to become engaged with the political process or to learn about canvassing. And I apologize. And then we also had the Police Advisory Committee a couple weeks back discussing what occurred on the August 25th on the RHA housing the day before school started. The incident at the Orange Grove was also briefly mentioned, but it could not be fully discussed due to the fact that it was not on the agenda. However, the chief did acknowledge the event and discussed it as was allowed within the restraints. Aside from that, we hope to continue moving forward, and especially following the event on last Tuesday, we want to ensure student safety and make sure that our campus security is enacting in a way that ensures but also reassures students of their safety. And that'll be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Social and Behavioral Sciences report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our final Senate report, our Humanities Senator Basilio's report.
Right. Hello again. So updates on our Senate event. My co-senator and I have started to send emails out to different faculty to see if they can attend our mixer because it was also approved by our vice president. Yay! I also submitted marketing requests, so now we're just gonna wait to see when we can have that meeting with Daniel. I'm also on the way, so sorry for that. As for advocacy interests, I did say I wanted to submit a referral to investigate if all CSUs provided free legal services, and they do. So I redacted that referral last week, so that's not a thing anymore. Representing constituency, well, everybody said that already. On Wednesday, so in 2 days, there is another Educational Policies Committee meeting. They're really into trying to establish an AI policy that's faculty-wide, and they really want feedback because I don't know, I feel like they need a lot of help. So if they had a little more student feedback besides myself, maybe they'd be able to find what they want to do. But yeah, that is all the updates I have on my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Humanities Senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move past, oh my goodness, past discussion items, past legislative referrals because Senator Gavino and Senator Basilio decided to give me a break. Into announcements. Are there any announcements from the board? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Yes, I apologize. I forgot to mention this during my report, but the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences will also be helping out with Bike Fest that'll be returning for its 5th year to CSU or for CSUN. Now, Bike Fest itself is a campus-wide event, I believe. The College of Social and Behavioral Sciences is only helping out in part, but I was reached out to by the dean in order to reach out to students, advocate the event. So this will be November 2nd. There is early group bike rides for experienced or intermediate level bike riders, 8 to 10. The on-campus event itself will be 10 to 2. There'll be tabling booths, plenty of opportunities to see new technology, see what's going on, and just a chance to connect with the community. This is open to all people, not just students. So invite your friends, family, bring your dogs, bring your neighbors, bring whoever. For first-time freshmen that attend, if they attend one of the group bike rides and they are to submit proof to the event that they attended one of those group bike rides, they are eligible to be submitted into a draft to receive a $1,000 scholarship that will be accessible starting their sophomore year. This is to encourage that rollover, making sure we're keeping that retainment, but also helping those transitional students, especially in their first year, help pay for that second year, help make sure they can continue their education past where they've gone so far. So that'll be open to 15 different students. Please get the word out. And then last note on this, at the moment, there is no bike or no free bike rentals at the moment. But if enough students show interest in wanting bike rentals, we can start looking into partnering with local companies to offer that as either low cost. I can't guarantee free. I don't want to say that because I can't speak for an outside business, but we will look towards promoting as low cost as possible bike rentals if at least 200 or more students are interested. All right, thank you.
Amazing. Are there any other questions from the board? Senator Basilio.
Yeah, so I just got this email today. I think there are advisory board positions open for the Ethnic Studies Center for Race. So that stands for Research, Activism, and Community Empowerment at CSUN, because that is going to be a thing very soon, guys. I hope you all knew that. So they're looking for students, undergraduate or graduate, with involvement in ethnic studies, activism, or community-based work, and also just general community members engaged in racial and social justice efforts in the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, or broader diaspora communities. So if you want more information, I can forward you that email. I think I got that because I am a Chicano Studies major. So yeah, if you're interested, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or announcements? Oh my goodness. Announcements from the board. Jitterit.
I completely forgot to add this in my report, but tomorrow the annual budget request opens for the fiscal year of 2026, 2027. So if your club wants annual budgeting, you can request it starting tomorrow. And it closes on December 8th. So the sooner the better, just to get out of the way. Thank you.
Amazing. Are there any other announcements from the board? Okay, I have two of for everyone that is going to be here on October 25th at 4 p.m. here at CSUN. Our women's rugby team is having their very first preseason game. So if you guys would like to support Chair Tourette and Senator Vicente, you guys should definitely stop by. And then for any of you guys that didn't know, our Senator Gavino is a film major and his thesis is currently having a fundraiser in front of Manzanita Hall. So if any of you guys are interested in getting a baked good, you guys should definitely go to Manzanita Hall and support his film. You know, we're so proud of you, Isaac. But yeah, they will be selling baked goods from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So make sure to get there quick, guys, because I saw that they have chocolate cupcakes. But that is about it. That is the last bit of my announcements. I will now move over to final roll call.
Vice President Jimeniana Aragon,
Here.
Senator Abrams,
Here.
Senator Arias Gomez,
Here.
Senator Atias,
Here.
Senator Basilio,
Here.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa,
Here.
Senator Contreras,
Here.
Senator Cunanan,
Here.
Senator Dominguez,
Here.
Senator Garcia,
Here.
Senator Gavino,
Here.
Senator Kachadia,
Here.
Senator Katka,
Here.
Senator Mane,
Here.
thank you, Senator Quiroga,
Here.
Senator Ramirez,
Here.
Senator Umana,
Here.
Senator Vicente.
Here.
Thank you.
Amazing. I now adjourn this meeting at 10:42 a.m. It's already been a long week.